What's up, everybody? It's Sam here with a quick little show announcement. I'm doing my hour 2 more times in Los Angeles, California on March 24th and April 1st. And there's actually quite a few tickets available for those, even though they're intimate little shows. So I would love if you guys got tickets to those. That would make my life much less humiliating. So see you there. Enjoy the episode. Bye.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's never the time for racism.
Okay, podcast starts now.
Wow.
This is an amazing start to an amazing episode.
And we're keeping that in.
We're keeping that in.
You're not going to delete it like Shane. Like
the possibility of racism.
No,
I want the possibility of racism to be sort of the...
Want everyone to think about what it was going to be for a while.
Elephant in the room. Yeah. Like the Chekhov's gun.
I thought I was on Therapist for a second.
Chekhov's slur.
Chekhov's slur.
Chekhov's slur. I mean, without further ado, he's already here. Please welcome to the podcast, Jeremy O'Harris.
Hello.
And good afternoon, Jeremy.
And good afternoon, Jeremy.
Wait, do I not get a welcome back?
And welcome back.
And welcome back.
Do you guys want, or do you want to erase that podcast?
No, that is a defining podcast.
That put us on the map. You were being such a little queen during that episode. Do you remember you were carrying your laptop around your like Paris hotel room and smoking cigarettes while recording?
No, I remember deeply apologizing.
You did also deeply apologize.
No, that was a very beautiful, touching episode. We were all on Zoom.
We were
COVID
all on
era.
Zoom. It was COVID lockdown era. And we had not quite, it was like one of our very early episodes. We had not even quite figured out like the rhythm of the podcast yet. And in comes Jeremy O'Harris. And he apologizes for being your high school bully.
It's true.
Yeah.
And you know, things have been amazing ever since.
Well, no, it's just kind of crazy because I have a lot of friends who are like, oh my God, do you listen to StraightioLab? I'm like, I've been on it. And they're like, never heard of your episode. And I'm like, I would like to think that episode was a major episode. It would be like in the Hall of Fame.
I think it is in the Hall of Fame, but it was before we had as many listeners as we maybe did later on. So it's a real niche Hall of Fame episode.
Okay.
It is complicated because in my mind, I think everyone has heard it.
Yeah.
But I agree. I'll bring it up to people and they're like, what?
I would say in that era, you were basically doing us a favor. You were like, let's have a phone call. And
on
then
top
we
of that, I
publish
argue
it.
in most eras, you're doing us a favor.
No, I still, to this day, think you guys are way more famous because I think people who make people laugh are more famous.
Well, now we are famous, to be clear, but we weren't then. Now we've had Kathy Griffin on, your peer.
Wow.
Your peer, yeah.
Oh, on the D list with me.
What? Yeah. Don't you think it's time someone did a current My Life on the D list? And I want it to be like, it's like an aspiring influencer. Actually, this is something you could potentially write and direct. An aspiring influencer that like really wants to be like a lifestyle influencer that is doing My Life on the D list and is getting like the worst, most flop possible brand deals.
But it's so hard to tell because everyone is on the D list
know.
now.
Yeah.
Like there's 4 people
There's
who
no
are
A-list.
genuinely famous.
There's no A-list.
There's no A-list unless you were famous in 1995.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet.
And Timothy Chalamet.
Maybe he's on the B list now.
Listen, it's
The Michael
complicated.
B. No, I'm just kidding.
You think Michael B. Jordan is not A-list?
No, Michael B. Jordan's A-list. He has an Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Unlike
that
Timmy.
doesn't mean, well, so does, Ariana DeBose.
I love Ariana DeBose.
I do too.
And when Twitter did their list of like who did the best performance, I was very happy that so many people were like, Ariana DeBose is in the top 3.
Of Best Supporting Actress
Yeah,
winners.
of the last 5.
To be clear, she's an incredibly talented performer.
And she's amazing in that film, of
Yes.
course.
Good friend.
Okay.
So I can already tell this is going to be a bit difficult considering your connection to fame. Sort of this podcast, we don't hold back. We can kind of say whatever we want about whoever.
We can just be like, we can call anyone a flop, and it's
I just think that,
celebrated.
Listen, I'm a flop.
That's not true.
I totally
That's not
celebrate that.
true. So when you're Ariana DeBose's close friend.
Do you guys like get brunch?
Did she was after the
Actually, I think Ariana still has an outfit of mine. Because we had
Did you guys hook up?
Yeah. We're both queer performers.
I've heard of it.
Did you ghostwrite Angela Bassett did the thing?
I wish I had. I talked to her about it a lot.
That's what I was wondering.
The
Like,
week
were you
that
on
that
speed
happened.
dial? Yeah.
No, but we aren't super close. We have the same agent and we hang out sometimes. But I really like her. We're theater girls.
I mean,
I
again,
support the theater girls. The theater girls who make the transition into film and television, let me tell you, that is a long road. And the people who do it fast,
Sarah Pigeon.
Sarah Pigeon, she's on the fast track.
It's
She's on the fast
crazy.
track.
I saw her the other day
And
with that
she's-
blonde hair, and I said, "You're never going brunette again, are you?" You're never going brunette again.
She's gonna look at pictures of herself and say, "I don't know her."
Yes.
No,
that girl
it's
is
crazy.
dead.
Yes.
I don't even know her, and I'm like, I need to send her a muffin basket to congratulate her.
When I watch her, I'm like, I need to be a beautiful blonde woman.
No,
I
okay,
know.
so
I
here's
feel
what
really
I was going to say.
insecure.
I was going to say this. I don't give a fuck about Carolyn Bessette, and I definitely don't care about JFK Jr. Didn't know who the fuck they were. Like, kind of knew that, like, JFK Jr. died in a plane crash. And honestly, my biggest note for the show, Ryan, I hope you're listening. Why are you making it about the plane? Right? Like, they keep going back to the plane as though it's like this like mythic thing, as though the plane is the thing. No, the Kennedy curse is the thing. The Kennedys are cursed people because they did some cursed behavior. But like there are so many more interesting deaths. Like, you know the one that died doing ski football?
Yes.
There's this thing as ski football.
Yes. When you're
Do you know
white,
about Rosemary Kennedy?
Yes. Well, that's the dark one.
Can you
What happened to her?
She was
Lobotomy.
lobotomized.
Lobotomy.
Well.
So I'm like, why? Like, but why is the show acting like, oh, like they got on this plane and the plane was
I know.
no? It's like, no, this family is cursed. In the episode when they go to, I forget the name of their place, like whatever their Camelot was.
Hyannisport?
Yes, and they're like, we're gonna all go like on the water on the little ski. I was like, that's crazy. That lean into that.
Yes.
being the reason why he died.
Well, but it's complicated. The curse is complicated because on the one hand, yes, they're cursed. On the other hand, they do all this risk-seeking behavior, not to victim blame, not to literally be a Republican during the AIDS
I was going
crisis.
to say the same thing though.
But but like at every point, they're like, you are being warned, don't get on this plane because there's a huge rainstorm and guess what? You can't drive it.
I haven't watched that episode yet.
And then,
We need prep for the Kennedys.
no, we need
for,
prep for the Kennedys.
weird disasters.
Yes.
I got to the Battery Park episode and I was like, I think I've seen all I need to see. This is who I am.
Well, the big secret is that neither of them is an interesting person, which is why it's such an incredible challenge for the Ryan Murphy team
Yes.
to make a show about them, because they are just two stunning, beautiful, gorgeous people that fell in love because they were like, you're hot as hell, you're a Kennedy, and you're kind of a hot blonde.
And also a cokehead.
And also a cokehead.
Which I think adds so much texture. I'm
Yes.
like so glad that she's a cokehead.
But they don't lean into that enough.
I know they should show it.
And also, there was a woman on Twitter, I think it's Heidi B. Moore, hope it's you. Maybe I just made up your name. But she did this whole thing. It was like, why aren't we talking about the fact she changed her style when she started dating him?
Yeah.
And constantly had this sort of like insecurity thing where like she was a different girl before she worked at Calvin Klein, a different girl when she started dating him. And I'm like, that is a thing that's interesting to me. All I will say is, whatever version of Carolyn Bessette Little Miss Sarah Pigeon is playing, I want to be.
Yeah.
And I also see myself in her so much. Do you know how mean I was to my fiance when he asked me to marry him? Crazy. I told him no. Not for as long as she did, but I did tell him no.
Now, you've been engaged for 15 years?
100%.
What's going on there?
Well, so I really believe in long engagements.
Really?
Yes.
Tell me why.
I think that like you really know your person when you're engaged for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, and
It's
both-
the potential. It's like the right before, the space in the right before is where you know someone best.
Well, I
and
think
when you
that-
do the thing, it's like, well, where do we
Angela
go
Bassett.
from here? Yeah, like Angela Bassett. You don't want to go Angela Bassett mode.
I don't want to go
via
Angela
doing
Bassett.
the thing.
No, I think that one of the things we own an apartment together.
Okay.
We
Okay.
own art together, right? Like those are already like sort of these like this big sort of financial entanglement. That
And
we
you own a
have.
big cause statue that's like Mickey Mouse.
Exactly,
And it says,
exactly.
fuck you. And that's like in your entryway.
Carrying bags of
No,
money.
we actually have something that's like gay enviable.
Okay.
We have a Salmon tour.
Wow.
Yeah. Well-
so when did he become the hot gay guy on set? Because
Well,
a couple years
Gay
ago,
guys can't paint anymore.
I know, it's crazy.
Gay guys suck at painting.
Now it's like every book cover is Salmon Tour, every like, you know, sort of like the cover of like a brochure for a new boutique hotel.
the film Joyland.
Yes.
Salmon tour painting. Yeah, he's the best.
Okay,
And
so you have a Salmon Tour.
we have a Salmon
Congratulations.
tour. We have a Jonathan Lyndon Chase.
Wow.
Yeah. 3. We have some good art. Anyway, wow, I literally just told people to rob me. Anyway,
And we will, and tell us your address. We'll include it in the episode
no,
notes.
but I think that like because of that, I think there could be nothing more embarrassing like that. If we were to disentangle now, like
Yeah.
that would be normal. It's like great. Like we had to figure out how to like split assets. If I had to figure out how to call all these people who like flew to my destination wedding, it's like yeah, like it didn't work out. It would be like a real issue.
I agree.
And I feel like the lessons and questions we've asked each other over these last 2.5 years, it hasn't been 16, it's been 2.5, have been really, really good questions to have about like what does it mean to like date an artist during a writer strike, right? Like you know, like,
Right,
what
right.
are the other like sort of stresses and pains of like what does it mean to date a partner who goes to jail? You know, like you know, all of these are things that he's had to deal with for me, right? Chaos.
And you went to jail for murder, right?
Yeah.
Do you regret
First
it?
degree? Nope.
Okay.
Not at all. I think murder is important. Gays murder really well. Don't paint, but we murder.
Well,
It is
some
true
things
that
never go
more
away.
gays murder than paint well, I would say, in the grand scheme of things.
That's really true.
Yeah, they can certainly do photography.
Yes.
They can do kind of like a one-act play.
We love photography and we love one-act plays.
Yes.
Are you allowed to talk about the jail?
Yeah, I just wrote an essay about it.
What was that like? What happened?
Honestly, this is going to sound really fucked up. White people would pay for it. I could get white people to pay to do what I did.
Because it's like a
like
writing
it's like-
retreat.
It was 100% the best retreat ever.
Well, I wanted to run by a headline about you that we saw. Playwright Jeremy O'Harris reveals he lost 10 pounds and read 23 books while imprisoned in Japan for 22 days.
So that's more than one book a day.
Yes.
And how long were these
We're
books?
talking novellas.
So I had,
Articles?
so one of the things I got at the very end, which really helped me like boost up the number really fast, I got the Norton Anthology of English Literature Part 1.
So here's a question. Was there a Barnes & Noble on site?
I think there was one down the street. Well, it's a very literate culture, like being in Japan. One, like they really love the analog.
Okay.
And they love books. And I was there to make a film. And so the people I was making the film with came and visited me. They brought me really nice clothes.
Okay.
Like really nice clothes to wear because they wanted me to be comfortable. And they brought me books every day. So I had photo books. I had like plays.
Wait a minute. Are you counting photo books in the 23
No,
books
I'm not
you
counting
read
photo
in
books in
22
the
days?
23. I'm not counting a photo book.
You're reading coffee table books. You're reading the Kim Kardashian selfie book. You're saying, check another
You're
one.
looking at 100 pictures of Rihanna and saying, did it.
No, I read Afrobin's, or I'm gonna say it wrong. Afrobin's Oronico. It is that play is. I mean that it's like a novella.
Okay.
It is one of the best novellas I've ever read. It is Afrobin, one of the first female writers in the English language, literally decided to like write a story about why we need to abolish slavery from the point of view of a woman who met like an African slave prince.
And you read that while in prison.
Yeah. It was pretty amazing.
So have you released the reading list, the Jeremy O'Harris prison reading list?
I'm going to.
We would love to be involved in that if you want to do a collab
I
post.
reread Kafka on the Shore, realized hate it.
Yeah. You hate it?
Yeah, not very good. Not very good. I have questions.
I know, people have been turning on him. I feel like I guess, it used to be that was kind of a sign that you're a serious reader when you're like 24, 25. Or like, when 1Q, what was that one?
1Q84.
1Q84. I feel like that was such a like sign, like I'm serious.
Because it's fat.
Don't hear about him anymore.
100%. You hear about him running. We love that he runs.
Yes,
It's
that's
part of
right.
the Run Club.
Right, that's his whole thing.
Run
It's sort of
Club.
like how George Saunders' whole thing is being like posi vibes only.
Yeah. Well, so I also read a book that was that I did love by another famous writer who's never going out of style. I read Clara and the Sun, a book. I hate books about robot children.
Mm-hmm. No, he's the real deal.
Clara and the Sun is so fucking good.
I like that.
I was like, gag. I was like, gag. Taika Waititi, can't wait for the movie.
Oh, they're making a movie of it.
Yeah, Taika Waititi making the movie.
Yeah, let's
Wow.
hope his wife Rita Ora plays Clara.
That would be nice.
Another friend.
Oh my God. We're never going to get through this.
Please give her our best and tell her we would love to have her on the pod.
Did you see what she looked like at the Vanity Fair party?
No.
Stunning. Unrecognizable.
Did you read the article about how the Vanity Fair party lighting was so bad?
I did read that.
That people's publicists are like trying to get photos taken down?
That's crazy.
I thought people looked good.
I agree. I don't know.
thought it was cool.
Are people just Kris Jenner?
Do you know what it? Well,
yeah, well, that's a big part of it.
But I also think people are like excited to be, the new Mark Giarducci, the new editor-in-chief of Vanity Fair, is a gay guy, and I think people are like excited to be mean about a gay guy.
Well, right, they're testing,
which is
the
very
boundaries.
vintage.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's nice.
It's good to be mean to gays again.
I know, it's about time.
Listen, as you know, I started it.
I know, that's right, by bullying Sam.
Yeah, you invented it.
Yeah, I think that's important.
That's really
And
important.
you really learned your lesson. Now you're going to prison.
So when they're like, hey, guess what? You're going to prison. Like emotionally, were you like, wait, this sucks?
Okay. The first thought I had was, okay, but when do I get to go to dinner? Like legitimately.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even kidding. I legitimately kept thinking like, but you're not serious.
Yeah. And it sounds like they were sort of like, yeah, we have an omakase dinner all set up for you.
No, I was genuinely like, no, but this is crazy. And the biggest thing that I was shocked to learn was that unlike America, if you're arrested abroad in most places, you don't get to like call a lawyer and like put up bail to leave that night. Like, it's like, they're like, no, we get to keep you until we're done.
Yeah.
Investigating.
That's crazy.
I didn't get to make a call for 23 days.
You didn't make a call the whole time?
No, you don't get to make a call.
That is crazy.
They told me that
So how do people know to visit you?
Well, they found me.
Did your socials team take over?
No, someone was waiting for me at the airport and were like, he's not here.
Yeah, Ariana DeBose.
Ariana was waiting with a sign, multiple flowers, balloons.
Yeah, she was practicing
She
her
was
song.
like, Japanese police did the thing.
Yeah. That's what she put it. That's how she put it together. She was scatting. It came to her. Yeah, it was like this thing where 36 hours later, because like they were like, you have to give us a statement. And I was like, I will not give a statement until I speak to a lawyer. And they're like, you don't get that.
They're like, that's your statement now.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, no, I need to speak to a lawyer. They're like, no, you don't get a lawyer. I was like, what about my phone call? They're like, you don't get that either.
Yeah.
And I was like, I refuse. I was like, call the embassy.
You're like, can I tweet?
Yeah, exactly. They were like, yeah, there's no recourse. But then luckily I have a very smart husband who is not a husband yet, but who's also a lawyer who, with the help of my friends on the ground, found like a lawyer in Okinawa. That lawyer came to, like called all the jails, found out where I was. And
Oh my God, they had to investigate?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. If you hadn't done that, like, what's the plan? You just like
Like, how
stay
long
there?
would you been chilling there?
Well, I would have stayed there for 23 days because here's the thing. Love my lawyer. You were great. But your lawyer doesn't talk to the prosecutor with you or the investigator with you. Like, you are doing all that by yourself for 23 days.
But your sentence was 23 days. Because I read...
there was no sentence.
Oh. But
They get to investigate you for 23 days.
Okay.
Here's what happens if you get arrested in Japan.
Yeah.
You get arrested. They have 72 hours to have you meet with the judge and the prosecutor and the judge. The prosecutor meets with you and is like, here are your charges. What did you do? You make a statement to them.
Yeah.
And then they decide based on your statement if they believe you and if they want to investigate you. Obviously, my statement was, I'm innocent. They were like, no, you aren't. And so then they... Like,
You're like, interesting perspective.
yeah, I was like, that's weird. We have two different ideas about this.
Yeah.
And then they sent me to the prosecutor. The prosecutor, I literally thought I had won her over. I thought that, like, I was like, listen, babe, like, obviously this isn't mine. Like, I'm a good person.
Classic
I'm
gay
here to
guy
make a
mistake,
movie.
thinking you won a woman over.
She had a bob. I was like,
Yeah.
she's
You were
my
like,
friend.
done.
Yeah. She was young. She had a bob. She knew how to pronounce Loewe.
How did that come up?
Because they were asking me about my travel. Because they were thinking I was a drug smuggler. So they were like,
Okay.
you've traveled a lot. And I was like, oh, I went to this thing for this Loewe dinner. I went to this thing for this like Bottega
I
dinner.
can't with
It was
That's so funny.
But they were like looking at my thing, but again, I have to talk to a translator who then translates it for her, and so he's trying to figure out what the translation is for Loewe, and she's like, it's pronounced Loewe, and I was like, so you literally speak English, and so I was like, she's my friend. We go to the next day. I go meet up with the judge, which also is its own sort of like, I'm writing about all this like for people to read, but like it was like this really weird like sort of like Adult Swim episode. It felt like, because like again, everything in Japan was like their height of technology is 2004,
Right.
Maybe this video was made in
Really?
1997. Yeah, like because they're all hardware, right? They never made like software.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's like
Okay.
Sony. It's like, all these like, the TVs and shit, and all the technology like that like houses stuff, but they didn't like get better software. They just sort of like stopped there. And so they put in like a laser disc into like this thing, and I watched the video. I was like, so you've been arrested. This is what happened. And it's like this, like they act it out, and it's like it's so crazy. So you have to watch this video. Then you go and you sit and you talk to a judge. And the judge is like, so the prosecutor has recommended that you have to stay for 9 days. Because also, you meet up with the judge in those 72 hours, and then he decides if you had to stay for 9 days so they can investigate you. I'm thinking she's gonna be like, we're throwing this out. This isn't a real case. He was like, she's decided that you need to be investigated immediately. She also thinks that you are a threat, and so you shouldn't have visitors. I said, say what?
If your crime is drug smuggling, which again you're innocent of, how would you be a threat inside a jail?
Well, because maybe my drug smuggling friends are outside, and
and they're bringing,
I'm whispering things to them about where other drugs are, or who, whatever the thing is, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, she knows that I wear Loewe. I had a Tory Burch purse with me.
I mean, I've certainly never met anyone in Loewe who has done drugs.
Neither have I. That's one of the things I love the most about Loewe.
No, it's for sober people only.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Spanish. And I was like, okay. And he was like, tell me about yourself. And I was like, I was a Japanese literature minor. Like, I really love Japan. Like, and I'm like bowing.
I mean, talk about gay guy. You think you're going to charm them by saying you were a Japanese literature minor?
And guess what I did? Guess what I did? He said, you were.
Oh.
Who were your favorite writers?
Oh.
And I said, okay, let's go down the list.
Yeah, you said I hate Kafka on the Shore.
Yeah.
So let's start there.
Kenzaburo Oe is one of my favorite writers ever. I was like, Yukio Mishima has been in the background of my phone for a decade. He wasn't impressed by those. He's like, those are, we all know those. And then I was like, Convenience Store Woman was one of my favorite books. Earthlings changed my life. Like, I love, and he was like, that's my favorite book. And he and I had this whole connection about this one writer. And I was like, I'm reading this book right now. My friends just brought it to me. It's by Suzumi Suzuki. It's called Gifted. He was like, she just won a prize 2 years ago. I haven't read that one yet. And he's like, you know what? You get visitors.
And this person is the
judge.
Is a judge.
Yeah, so the judge.
You're having book talk. You are recommending books. You're giving a social justice reading list to the judge.
Yes.
Wow.
And he, I think, liked me. He gave me visitors again, unlike the mean prosecutor lady with the bob. And then I got 9 days. And after those 9 days, she can choose to opt into, because you go and meet with her every other day. And the guy who's investigating you, who was really hot.
Nice.
The guy who investigated me was very hot, so I liked talking to him.
Sure.
And so we would talk, and then at the end of that week, they were like, so you had to say 9 more days because we still haven't gotten all your tests back. And I was like, what do you mean you haven't gotten all my tests back? They're like, the drug test you asked for us to give you on the first day, we still haven't gotten back because it's Japan, everything's analog, it takes 2 weeks. And I was like, what? So you had to say 9 more days. And I realized it's just kind of their tactic. You stay, they're going to keep you for 23 days if you get arrested for drugs.
So here's my question. When it was reported in the New York Times, did your team, did you want it to be public so that people would know?
No. Here's what happened. So I told them the first day they arrested me, I said, drug test me. Those aren't mine.
Okay.
I promise you they're not mine. Drug test me. They drug tested me. It was negative. They went through my entire phone over 23 days. Nothing was in it. It was chill. And they basically had no case, it seemed like. Mm-hmm. They could have still charged me if they wanted to, but they didn't. And I think that because there was no evidence to really stick anything on me, their way of getting back to me from the customs agent and the prosecutor was to release a press release with my full name in it. Because I know there are, I was there for 23 days. I saw everyone that came in, left out. And I was put in a cell, and you couldn't talk between cells. But there was a cell. There was a guy who kept trying to talk to me who spoke English, who was Taiwanese. And then there was another guy who was in there who was French English who tried to talk to me. I knew he was gay. He had Aussie bum underwear on.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
To be in jail and see Aussie bum underwear.
Yeah, I was like, that guy's gay. He's 6'5", British with a French accent. Definitely
whoa.
Yeah. You're turned on.
A little?
Yeah. He was there. And so I clocked him. And then there was another guy who was really hot, who was in the other end, who I asked one day, do you play basketball? Because he was really tall. And he was like, no. Turns out that guy who's in the other cell and the Aussie one guy are husbands.
Oh my God.
Who were arrested together. Yes. And they told me, because they DM'd me when they got out, they're like, sorry that this happened to you. They got more time than I did. A lot more time.
Yeah.
How much time?
More. I don't want to put all their business out. I mean, again, no one knows who they are. So
did they recognize you?
Yeah. Because they Googled.
I see.
And yeah, I don't know how they knew who I was, but yeah.
They were leaving. You're like, Google me.
Exactly. No. I mean, I guess it was because I told my cellmates, because my fiance sent me pictures, and they were like, there was one funny day. So I became really good friends with my cellmates, Tomo and Ruki, and they did not speak. They spoke very little English. But Tomo, I was showing him my pictures, and he was like, "Oh, these are so cool." And he was like, "Who is this man? Is this best friend?" And I was like, "Oh, Yeah, and it was like more and more pictures of us like hugging, kissing. And he was like, best friend. I was like, no, fiance. There was a woman blurred out in the background, and Ruki was like, that fiance? I said, no, this is my fiance. And then they were like, and then there was a picture of me like at an opening or something. They were like, very rich man. I'm not going to do the accent. That would be not good. They're like, very rich man. And I said, no. And they said, what do you do? I told them I wrote plays. And then they asked if they could read them. So I told them my name and stuff.
I see.
So I wonder if that's how they found out. I don't really know how they found out. Anyway, they messaged me and told me that she really threw the book at every single person that got out after me. Like all of them she threw the book at. They can't come back to Japan for 5 to 10 years, maybe longer. And she released a press release and didn't say their names. So I'm the only one they released a press release with like my full name. She
And
just
this
said,
is
like,
Bob Woman?
Bob Woman, yeah.
So, wow, it's interesting.
So my punishment was that like I would be globally shamed.
Do you think she's jealous of you for going to the Loewe dinner?
Maybe.
Because she's kind of like a fashion girl.
Yeah.
I mean, she's dreamed of fashion her whole life.
I mean, she has a bob. She recognized Loewe. She's saying, I'm sorry, this F slur gets to go and not me?
Yeah. I think that might be
But
it.
I have a bob.
That might be it.
Wow.
Okay.
There is just so much jealousy in this damn world.
We found
It is
another
so
headline
interesting.
about you. Jeremy O'Harris drunkenly called OpenAI's Sam Altman a Nazi at the Vanity Fair Oscar party. True or false?
I wasn't that drunk.
Okay.
And I didn't call him a Nazi. I said, are you excited about being remembered as like basically the Goebbels of the Nazi party? I meant to say Frick, but
And
I said
did you, was there context or did you just go up to him and say that?
Goebbels. We had been there all day and I felt like a sort of like, he like I was being asked to consent to like a sort of politic at a party that I did not consent to. And I felt like, you know, after watching Paul Thomas Anderson win so many Oscars, I had to like channel my inner Fiona Apple and say, you know, kick me under the table all you want. I won't shut up.
I won't shut up.
I won't shut up.
So after all these years, you're still bullying gay guys.
I am.
Name
I am.
Sam.
Yeah.
Even.
Name
Oh, wow.
Sam.
Wow. Well, that's
You
wild.
should talk to him about this. I did go up to him at the middle of a party while he was talking to a famous gay guy and said, I have something to say.
Well, honestly, it's like about time. Like, it's so weird that he's not bullied.
Well, it's
and
weird
all
that-
these people are not bullied.
No, it's weird that so many people who are actively destroying the world are just there and
Yes.
everyone's just sort of like,
Completely.
and the thing I will say about like, you know, at least Bezos brings Lauren around because Lauren, that's a look. There's something going on there.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
There's
no,
there's certainly
it's
something
camp.
going on
Yeah,
there.
It's camp.
It's so camp. And also, he at least owns a television company.
Yeah, no. I was shocked that Sam Altman was invited. What is the tea? Like,
You'd have to talk to. Listen, you know what? Here's actually
Yeah.
the thing I will say. I talked to Mark about this. I said, I basically said, like, I get it for your magazine, right? Like me being in the same room as Sam Altman, like, was bound to make something interesting happen.
it's a vibe.
Yeah, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. And it's like, again, I think that like if you are in the failing, like, you know, publications business and like your party is like the main source of like income and attention for this global brand every year, why not bring someone who's like, you know, causing a genocide to a party full of artists
Sort of see what happens.
and see what happens? And like, you know, I know other people were like dying to say things. I think that like maybe well, I said this to my friends. I think a lot of times Black people are always the first ones to get themselves in trouble in these situations. We love to be like, we're all gonna do a thing, right? And everyone's like, yeah, you go do it.
No, you're absolutely right. Because all these people, all the rest of the people that were around there with you, they're tweeting about how they hate AI.
Yeah.
But then in the moment, they're like, oh my God, I love when you did the, you know, when I did like Simpsons animation style selfie of myself using ChatGPT.
Yeah, I feel like Eartha Kitt, maybe, like, you know, like how Eartha Kitt like you know, popped off at Lady Bird Johnson and like then was blacklisted. Like I do wonder if I'm putting myself in one of those situations. I doubt it though, because like, again, like who the fuck cares? Like blacklist me from what? Like
Well, right.
like basically like Warner Brothers is being bought by a fucking like insane person who's in the pocket of the president. The AI company this guy owns is like one of many that are draining all the water from our country and also bombing like half of the helping the Department of War bomb half of the Middle East. Like, we kind of have nothing to live for right now. And if we aren't throwing rocks at people like that, if we are still trying to like save like access to like 5 pennies, then like we might as well just like all kill ourselves. Which is also what I told him. I was like, I don't know why you haven't killed, like how you can look in the mirror every day knowing that your technology might be used to like blow up another 177 girls and haven't already decided to kill yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to me,
you said that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
And he said like sort of robotically, he was like, well, I don't want to kill myself. Actually, I really believe in the rule of law. And for me, you know, I don't think any company should be bigger than the government. And many companies have worked with the government. It was really crazy.
Oh, so you really had a back and forth.
Yeah, and I was really trying to like, because I was like, listen, like again, another reason I'm not going up to Jeff Bezos is like I can't talk to him gay to gay, right? Like he's doing that thing with Lauren. I don't know what that is. I like to look at it. I'm like, this is crazy to look at. I will watch from the side, but like another gay guy, I think I can go and talk to. I know a lot of us have the tism. I can navigate the tism. Whatever he has is something beyond that.
Yeah.
And it was so like, it's like, you know, even when I talked to him about greed, he was like, I don't have very much money. I was like, you literally do. You literally do. You were like unequivocally one of the most powerful people in the world right now. And you were telling me that like you had no power to say no to the president when Anthropic did. And then he was like, so you care more about Claude than you like Claude more. Is that what you're saying? I'm like, I don't like any of you. None of you should exist. None of you should be working with these people. All of your heads are quitting and being like, hey guys, I think we just like created the atomic bomb, but like 5 billion times worse. Sorry about it. Gonna go read for 5 years before it's all over.
So go ahead.
Well, first of all, I just want to say that's so cool. I'm so glad you like said something.
Also, I want it to be known, I didn't tell the New York Post about it. I didn't like need this to come out. I wasn't like you guys know that this was booked weeks before. It wasn't like I was like, I'm going to go to StraightioLab and I'm going to set the record straight. Like literally, it's just something that happened.
Yeah.
I'm also not going to shy away from talking about it because I'm like, why the fuck would I? But because I want other people to do this at more parties.
Well, that's the thing.
This is
I'm
what I
like
want to talk
so
about.
confused as to how people are so close to these psychopaths and like don't do anything. I mean, obviously easier said than done. Like,
I mean, that is quite literally, what's the Hannah Arendt, that's literally what the banality of evil is. And it's funny, I'm actually clocking in myself that my reaction, like other sort of libs, is quote unquote, why was he invited? But I think you're absolutely right that he should be invited and then more people should create drama. Like that, the whole point is like, yes, if he's invited and then he's treated like any foreign dignitary, then nothing is stopping him from going to these parties. But what if he's invited and, you know, Cate Blanchett punches him in the face?
Yeah.
That would be huge.
That would be great. And you could probably make it happen.
Yeah. I could ask her.
Because you're working with her.
Friend.
Yeah.
Another friend. Love her down.
And
also that would be also crazy of me, right? I just did a show with Cate Blanchett where I told her you had to take to the streets. Like, look, where I wrote for her to say to an audience at the LA Philharmonic, take to the streets, do not stand idle, like awaken your sacrum and do something, anything, scream, right?
Yeah.
Because like it was about Egmont who got like fucking martyred for like trying to stand up like as the Inquisition was happening. And for me to like write that and be like, well, my work here is done, you know? It would have made the thing that, again, another thing that Sam said to me, I'm not this Sam.
Sam Altman.
Sam Altman said to me, he was like, well, you could be outside protesting, but instead you're at this party. And I said,
bitch.
And I said, I protested my work. And like, and again, if I were to be someone who's like writing work that's saying this at the LA Philharmonic, I would be potentially speaking to the crowd, except for the 5 people every night that walked out disgusted.
Also, you're accosting the CEO. That's
so
protest. He wants you to protest without him being physically involved.
He's like, hello, protest on the street.
He's like, you can email me.
Exactly.
Here's my card.
Exactly.
That is so crazy. I can't believe he hit you with a like, why aren't you posting more defense? Like, that is so crazy.
Oh, and also, this is another thing I want to tell all my friends who just post. I got in trouble by a lot of people like, you didn't post about this enough. You didn't post about that enough. Guess what, guys? I was literally at dinners with CAA heads being like, why don't you care about Palestine? Literally, actually, factually. Like, I felt like I could do better work talking to people IRL about like a global crisis that actually is really close to people's politics and really close to like how they grew up, how they see their identity. Like it isn't just like black and white. It's not like conceptual for some people. It is like their lived experience. And I think I made a lot more headway with certain people by talking to them and leaning in over dinner than I would have posting things.
Well, that's like the entire defense from kind of like out of touch powerful people is like, why join the woke mob when we should be having conversations with people we disagree with or whatever?
Yeah.
And so it's sort of like, okay, well, let's have those conversations, but it's going to be a little awkward.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to kind of, eat the creme brulee with a little clenched jaw while I explain to you what's going on.
Damn, you're like Thanksgivifying every event. I love that.
Well, I do think, I don't know. I think that I'm a Gemini, double Gemini. But I'm also a Cancer, Mars.
We're both Cancer.
Cancers.
Yeah. And so I feel for a lot of people. I feel like I can see every side of every argument. And I do think that like I am, like my friend Rostam Batmanglish, who is a big fan.
Really?
Yeah, big fan. Wants to be on the pod.
Well, we love him.
We would love to have him on
You
the
should
pod.
have him on the pod.
I heard a long time ago, I heard a story about him. I know who introduced him to the podcast, and they listened to it in the car.
Really?
Yes.
I shared my nudes with him on Scruff.
You did?
Well,
We're keeping that in.
Did he like it?
I
Let's
think
hope
he
so.
responded with like nice.
He
or
responded,
something like
thumbs
that.
up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Exclamation point.
No address.
Well, I wasn't really looking. I was just like, well, if Rostam asks, so I'll share my sure, whatever.
He's
Here's
a
the album.
foundational gay guy. It's like like without him, he really is the Harvey Milk of alt gay guys in the 2010s.
I love that. Wait, so what is Ed Drosty?
Well,
Ed Drosty is sort of the the Sigmund Freud because he's now a therapist.
I think he might be retired.
I
again.
know. I saw that.
Yeah.
Well,
Switching back and forth.
being a psychoanalyst for gay guys is like a hobby you can kind of pick up and put back down. It's like
Yes.
our birthright. Like I
yeah.
am in some ways a psychoanalyst.
That's what we're doing
I
right
can
here.
that's
do
kind
it.
of what
Like
we're
I can
doing.
practice if I want to or
who's
not.
the podcast that all the girlies are going to now? I think she's Freud's granddaughter.
yes. Yeah.
Okay, let's
It's
talk
like
about her.
fashion
Let's talk.
therapy?
No, you don't want to talk. You don't
No,
want to talk about.
I'm not friends with her. We can talk about it.
Do you know about this?
No. Well, I sort of.
Bella Freud.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Bella
I have
Freud.
beef with Bella Freud.
What is your beef?
Let it out.
I'm like, say one interesting thing challenge. You're related to Sigmund Freud and Lucian Freud, two of the like true geniuses of the 20th century, and you're releasing crew necks that say like slay on them. That's your contribution to society. And then you're getting luminaries on your podcast and not asking them a single interesting question. And somehow, by the way, she did an ad for Claude. She did
Well,
SpawnCon
no.
for Claude.
Shut the fuck up.
She did SpawnCon for Anthropic, but I'm not even going to go there. Ask your friend Cate Blanchett went on the podcast. One of the best we've got. Ask her something interesting.
Yeah.
You're Bella Freud.
I bet it was really comfortable for.
Well, that's the
I mean,
thing.
I think that one of the things I
She's the
love about Kate,
therapist of 60-year-old Nepo babies.
What a sentence.
Kate does love to lie. She loves to sprawl.
How do you mean?
Like I think if there was a bed here and Kate was here, she'd
Oh, this is actually like the famous person thing. If you like a true famous person, you can tell because they will like get like this.
Completely.
Like, there will be people standing that want a seat and they will not move an inch.
Yes.
I have had famous people sit on my fucking couch and like, sit up. Like more people need to sit down.
No, Kate has a way of sitting that looks so comfortable, so relaxed, so free.
Yeah.
She also apparently, Kate, I love you. I know this is gossip.
She's listening, of
She
course.
has
This is
never
gossip
heard
I
an
heard
ounce of
from
our
someone
voices.
else. But apparently, after we did our show in Palm Springs, Rostam was staying with me in a house I rented, and she had lunch with my friend the next day. She was like, I met Rostam, very lovely. So I'm assuming he's the boyfriend when the husband's away, which I thought was a great.
She was
way-
like too woke.
Yeah.
She's like, so y'all are fucking.
I love that as a way of like understanding, like open relationships, queerness. He is not the boyfriend when the husband's away. But it was very cute that she like had that thought and didn't say it to us. You know, like,
That's
it was-
very nice.
yeah. It's like a mom.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Should we talk? You have
Well, let's talk about the movie.
Yeah. When is it coming out, by the way?
April 17th.
That's crazy.
That's when our last guest movie is also coming out. You
Shut
guys
up.
are literally in competition.
You're in competition.
No, we're not in competition. It's an Erupcja Blue Heron.
Blue Heron.
Blue Heron.
Blue
Double
Heron.
feature.
Blue Heron.
It's Barbenheimer.
Blue Erupcja.
Blue
Blue
Rupsia.
Erupcja.
They're
Blue
calling
Rupsia.
it Blue Rupsia.
Blue Rupsia.
Blue Erupcja. Blue Erupcja. We can also Mile in Kicks comes out that day. There's another movie that comes out that day. Oh, Mother Mary comes out that day.
Oh.
Yeah, another Charli XCX movie, sort of.
So,
Yes, true.
Charli XCX is in this film, and she plays a normal girl. She does such a good job.
As far as bisexuals can be normal, of course.
Is she bisexual?
It seemed like it to me.
Sorry, go ahead. You had a question?
Well, how did you train her to be normal?
I think that was the power of our director. Our director's really good at just being like, hey, don't do that.
Totally.
Like, his directing style is like the most radical directing style I've ever had because he's just someone who says no.
Just like less.
Yeah. Not just less. He's like, I don't like that.
Was Charlie just trying to like power walk holding a purse around the room all day?
Exactly. No, but I also think she was ready to be normal. I think she was like, let's take the makeup off.
Oh.
She said, let's pull the hair down. Let's just walk and talk.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really weird because it was like it was like all the Brat stuff was out and she was about to go on tour. So it was like this really weird pocket of time where I think like the first day we were on set, like I think the Barry, I was going to call him Barry. I don't know him. Never met that one. Why is that?
Barry who?
Obama.
Oh.
The Barry Obama.
I was like Keoghan.
No, the Barry Obama list came out that day. That was like
of his favorite music.
Her song is on it, like the first day we're on, and I was like, "This is crazy." She's like, "I know," you know. And I was like, "Oh, you're in a really crazy spot." She was also like editing the remix album, like while she wasn't on set.
Does she sleep? How did
this come together? Like how long did you guys film? Like this? How did you do this?
Okay, so much happened. It's like some heartbreaking stuff happened. Like it's like it's an impossible situation. So Pete and I were in town because we made a documentary together. We had also made another movie together the year before. That doc was about to premiere at Tribeca. He was hanging out in my neighborhood. It was like 3:00. We had been talking about like other movies we'd be making. And I was like, let's go to Clandestino. Go to Clandestino. We're getting drunk. In walks, like fresh from Brooklyn. Like remember when she did that like 3-6, like whatever, that party in Brooklyn? Mm-hmm. Fresh off of that day, Charlie comes into Clandestino.
Wait, coincidentally, or you invited her there?
No, coincidentally.
Wow, Charlie Clandestino.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlie be going out in Dime Square. So I was like, Charlie. She's like, Jeremy. And you know, like when you have a friend who's like straight, maybe like different, like, you know, like just like a different vibe, you like really big up them to your new friend so that like the vibes aren't awkward, like so you aren't just talking to the new friend who's like famous or whatever. So I was like, Charlie, meet Pete. Pete is amazing. He's the greatest like filmmaker, blah, blah, blah. And I was like really trying to work this out really hard. What I forgot is that like cool girls love like guys with a little tism, you know?
Sure.
Like they love a straight guy with a little tism. So I'm thinking like I've like really tried to make a new relationship happen. I come back, it's like explosions. Like I'm invisible now. Like I don't exist. They're talking about indie movies, like old movies, like future movies. And somehow in the midst of this like, you know, hour long, like, you know, we're just throwing them back. At the end of this night, she said, I'm going to watch your movies tomorrow, but I'm down to come to Poland in August to shoot for 2 weeks. Because all of Pete's movies are done mathematically. He shoots them, or at least for now. He has a style called Table of Bubbles, right? He's made 6 movies in the style. He used to be a computer programmer, but he also always loved making movies. Okay. And after he made his first film in like sort of the normal way, he was like, I hate this. And during 2020, he was like, what if I just started doing something like, I don't want to keep waiting to make movies. I don't want to keep having permission. What if I make movies just based on what I have at my disposal? Like I can rent a house on Airbnb for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. I have 4 actors that I can write this thing for. I have half an outline. What if every day we write 3 scenes? If 3 scenes are 3 minutes each for 12 days, you have a 75-minute movie. Like that's the math. Like that's the thing. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the crew of one. Mm-hmm. I'm going to edit it myself. They did it with the first movie. It was called Jessica. It did very well at South by. That wasn't the first one. That was the third one. But second one. Fuck. Anyway, whatever. I'm getting them mixed up. Anyway, he created the system. Yeah. He told her about the system. She really liked the system. She was like, I can make a movie in that time frame, in that way, with you in Poland, if it's these 2 weeks. He says yes. We're like, great. Like, let's find the money to make this. The reason it was in Poland is because he had been living in Poland with a girlfriend this time, straight director.
Shout out.
Listen, straight people need representation too.
It's true.
And so he wanted to make a sort of love letter to the city he'd been living in and like making sense of. And then in June, and Pete, forgive me if I got the month wrong, tragedy struck. And his father, who was incredibly healthy, had like a freak accident and passed away.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh, I don't think we're going to be able to make this movie anymore. Like, this is crazy. Like, take your time, do whatever. Also, we're seeing like Charli on every screen you pull up. It's just Charli. And I'm just like, I don't even know if it's going to be possible for her to be here. Like, we're talking to her team. Like, that's feeling more like, big and crazy. And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, no, my dad would be really happy if I made this movie. Like, he would be very upset if I didn't do this. Like, my dad was someone who made things. My mom is someone who makes things. Like, they love that I make things. So I'm going to keep making this thing. So despite everything that was going on, somehow we all ended up in Poland on the day we said we would end up there. Charli and I stayed at the Nobu Warsaw. Shout out Nobu Warsaw for giving us really cheap, really free rooms. You guys are the best. If you ever go to Warsaw, stay at Nobu Warsaw. I'm not contractually obligated to say that, but I will.
I should hope not.
Also, shout out Airbnb. We love you too. Might be contracted to say that, so we're gonna try to lift them up. But we did it. We did it. We start. The first day is the best day because that's the day you get to figure out your character. Like, we've drawn these characters over the last couple of weeks together in this notes app with him, where it's like, I'm gonna play Claude, she's gonna play Bethany. Like, Will's Rob, Lena's Nell. Like, we're figuring out our dynamics. We're doing Zooms together. And it's all like sort of like a really advanced cinematic devising process. And the first day is the first day we meet our characters, right? So we go to all these different like vintage shops. We put on all the clothes. We figure out how these people dress, how they live in Warsaw. And then every day, either that morning or that night, sometimes in the middle of the day, we are writing our scenes and figuring out the story together and building it together. And it's kind of like having like a roving writer's room. And
Charli is involved in
and
the
Charli's
writing
involved.
process.
Really?
Yeah. Like, the reason that like, spoiler alert, we read a poem in the movie. The reason that poem is read in the movie is because when she and I were at the Soho farmhouse for like the GQ Man of the Year like celebration or whatever, British GQ Man of the Year celebration. It's different.
Thank you for fact checking yourself.
It's
Different. British GQ. Also, Adam coming over to America. So happy. Editor-in-chief of British GQ, coming to America GQ.
Oh, got it.
We love him.
Wait, he's yes, I read. Yes,
where when she walked in, this poem was being read over the thing, and she was like, "This feels like it's the movie." And so then she had it, sent it to Pete on her last day. She was like, "I'm leaving. I think I should." We were like, "I think it's the poem." She's like, "I think it's the poem." So we wrote that into the movie that day.
Whoa.
But like, the movie's about coincidence, and this process is about coincidence, and I think that. Because there was so much feeling going into this moment, because it was about the town he was in, because he had been like in this long-term relationship there, because, Charli had all this life happening. Lena, who is phenomenal in the movie, has had so much going on for her. Like Nell's apartment is Lena's apartment, you know? Like, it's like, her partner, Michal, was like, was basically our PA and like our like producer on set, like her dog is in the movie who sadly passed, like there was so much love and care inside of this thing. But also the fun thing about making a movie with Pete is that like it's just about the act of making, right? It's like someone tweeted this thing about David Lynch the other day, and they're like, we really like David Lynch because he does this. And I was like, oh, this is why, because David Lynch basically said, like, when no one wanted to say yes to his movies, he would just make something no matter what. And that's what I love about Pete, is that Pete has made a movie a year, sometimes 2 movies a year, like, since he made the decision to choose himself and not, like, wait for Neon or A24 or Sony Pictures Classics to buy his script. He just said, like, I'm going to make a movie. And I'm going to invite other people who want to make a movie with me and see what happens. And it's been really inspiring to other people, and I want it to inspire a whole new generation, mainly because I don't think we're going to have all these companies that are using like, Saudi and Qatari money to keep the lights on to depend on in the next 5 years. Like, we might have to like band together and do like mutual aid movies. Yeah. And in some ways that's what these are, like mutual aid movies to like, exercise creativity.
I loved the movie. I liked how like,
sorry, I just talked for so long.
No, that was great. I think that's helpful.
Because I don't listen to podcasts.
The writing of it collaboratively is so fascinating because it's not the Mike Leigh model of like improvising. It's actually making like a makeshift writer's room.
Well, and the whole thing feels very like saying that that's her apartment like makes so much sense. It all feels very grounded, and you feel like you do like I was like I want to go to Warsaw. I've never thought about Warsaw in my life. I want to go here, and I liked how it's so grounded and really stylized at moments. Like there's these like cool little flourishes. I also like it's about coincidence, but it's also like kind of about telling ourselves stories in order to live. Like we're kind of lying to ourselves and trying to like seem like a main character. I loved that part of like the Charli and Nell's like relationship where they're like everything's the world revolves around us, and then is it your character that's like no it doesn't?
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy about that is that we almost called the movie main character syndrome. It was like one of our first like ideas for it, and I feel like there are people who like are coming to it because they're like this is the gay Charli movie, and then are being like not letting the movie be what it is and like not seeing it because they're like just are like when is the lesbian gonna happen. And I really am grateful for you really seeing the movie because I think that like that is what the movie at its core is. It's about like trying to search for meaning in your life, trying to make yourself a main character. And the like sort of cowardice of main character stuff too. Like she just like can't just say how she actually feels, and it is like there wouldn't be a movie if she could say how she feels. And so it's like a push and pull. That's why she's the main character, and it's toxic. Listen, Sam. Look, that's a deep reading. That UVA.
Well, hey,
UVA, right?
That's true.
English major.
Yeah.
You know he was analyzing those texts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the girls read.
Some of the girls
read. They try.
Whether you're in jail or not. Pick up a book.
You know, you don't have to go to jail to read.
Wow. And I'm learning that for the first time.
How many callbacks have we done this episode?
Not enough.
I feel like this has been the most callbacks I've ever done in a podcast, and I really love it.
God.
It's really keeping me on my toes.
I'll say.
I should hope so.
I'm like, I don't even know where to go from here. I feel like...
Let's
Tell me more things you want to know about Warsaw. Because I feel like one of the things that we're really excited about is that, like, yes, we want all of the Charli fans to come. Like, please come watch our movie. Like, this is really, I think one of the great things about, like, the moment was that you got to see Charli as paint herself, right? Like it truly paint herself. I think what's really great about this is that you can see Charli like really be like a muse for someone else and really be at the center of a narrative in a way that like I think tells you a different story about her as an actress. Yeah. And presents like I think I don't know, a really dynamic relationship between her and Nell. And like you get to meet Lena Gora, who's like such a phenomenal actress. And like
that's who plays Nell?
Yeah.
She was so good.
She's amazing.
Really great.
And Will Madden is like, I think the most like beautiful, pathetic straight man ever.
It felt interesting that he's a bald guy and Charlie's real husband is a bald guy. I'm like, was that on purpose?
No, it's an accident. It's just that like Will is Pete's muse. Like Will is Pete's Leo, right?
Okay.
Like he's been in 3 movies with him. They like adore each other. They're best friends. Pete works with like Will's brother, who's also a filmmaker a lot. They have a really tight connection. I love watching them work together. And I would say that the thing that we also really want are like Polish people to see this movie, Polish Americans. Like we're really like pushing this to like a lot of Polish communities, being like, hey guys, like this isn't necessarily Polish. It's not necessarily American. It's definitely not British, but it's some weird hybrid of all these things. And like, if you want to see a little piece of home, or if you've never been to Poland, but your parents are from there, come check this movie out.
This is something I do want to talk to you about because I'm noticing, and this is obviously because we just interviewed Amy, who is in Blue Heron, which is a Hungarian co-production and is half in Hungarian. Sentimental Value just had all this awards success, and it is, you know, sort of like, it is Elle Fanning, but it's also not in English. There's a way in which, as you're saying, when there isn't the support from the big American companies, American and American adjacent filmmakers are almost like borrowing a little bit from the European model. And I wonder if the future of independent film is all like bilingual movies that have like both Charli XCX and, you know, a European actress from like, you know, either a Scandinavian or like a West European country or something.
I think it is.
And I'm like, that's cool to me. It's almost like third culture cinema or something. Like it's this Amy's movie, the family is a Hungarian immigrant family living in Canada, and it's half in Hungarian and half in English. And it's very like effortless. And it's sort of like, yes, this is how a lot of the world is. Like, you coexist with people that are expats, people that are immigrants, people that have just moved somewhere. And I don't know, maybe that's like the only way to make movies that used to be made by Sony Pictures Classics.
Totally. I mean, I also think that, like, you know, my new play is about Mexico, and specifically Zipolite. And it's half in Spanish. Amber Heard is one of the leads. Emma Ramos is the other lead. And then it's like, you know, Aman Lajahava and 8 gay guys. And it was really amazing to like do a play that like challenged me to listen differently. I think that's what's drawing me to other languages, is involving other languages in my work and in my text, because like I think that there's a lot of passive listening right now, and I think that like one of the things that subtitles do, one of the things that like just having a different language interact with English does is like it forces you to lean in, you know? And I think that there's been a lot of passive watching, which is why people can watch a lot of movies and come away with like really crazy opinions about them. That feel like, did you watch the same movie as I watched? I'm not going to drag us into any Twitter conversations now.
No, but one bite after another
has been insane to see on Twitter.
But I feel like there is there's a different like valve our brains go to, that when we ask them to slow down because they just simply do not understand the language, that I think is becoming very attractive as well in like a time when there's like so much dopamine filling our brains, you know?
Yeah. I also think when you switching between two ways of speaking and being enables you to contextualize each one in terms of the other. Like, and this is just
Are you saying this as a bilingual?
Well, that's what I mean. Like growing up, when if during the time when we lived in America before we moved back to Greece, it's like we spoke a different language at home and had different relationships with one another in that language that then were recontextualized when we are in public speaking English. And that just helps you be generally more self-aware. You know, it's like it is the infrastructure of a language makes you process the world in a different way, just like by virtue of how it is. And so maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe it is a way in which you can actually like create empathy in some weird way, or maybe not.
Well, also my best friend, Malta, who's the translator on Spirit of the People, my new play, which hopefully you guys will see next year in New York and maybe in Mexico, is that he is really swaggy in English. You know, like he's like short king with like a tall wife, you know, like he like, you know, really is just like the coolest guy you will meet. And he told me that when he went back to Argentina with his wife and they were all speaking Spanish, which he's fluent in, he realized that he does not have swag in Spanish, especially Argentinian Spanish.
I am the same way in Greece.
He feels like
I've lost it completely. I don't have a sense of humor. I don't really keep in touch with people I went to high school with, so I basically only speak Greek with my family. I don't know the contemporary slang. Like I go back and I feel like a complete loser. Like, yeah.
I'm really curious about that. Like that's an experience I really like, because like I don't speak any other language well enough to like not be myself in that language. I'm sort of like, lol, like konnichiwa, you know, like.
And we saw how well that worked out for you.
Yeah. Oh, guess what? It worked out pretty well. 23 days, no charges. Get into it, babe. I can still go back to Japan. Can you?
I guess we'll see.
Well, you know, I of course feel like a loser when I go to LA, and it's not because of the language, just because of the town.
What do you think? Are you one of those people who like has an LA number? You think you are? Like,
no, it's not
like,
that.
I'm like a New York 5 and an LA 10 or
more
whatever.
Like the value system of New York, I like really understand, whereas the value system of LA is so confusing to me, and I don't like know where I fit into it, or or maybe I'm too aware of it, and I'm like, so here I'm valueless.
Yeah.
Like in New York, I have fun ideas. I'm charming. There's fun here. In LA, it's like, so you're not on the show? And I'm like, fuck, I'm a loser here.
There's a romance to being an outsider in New York, whereas there isn't in LA. If you're an outsider in LA, it's like, get him out of there.
Well, do you feel like that's neighborhood dependent and also community dependent? Because I feel like there are people who don't do comedy in LA. Do you think they walk around feeling like losers?
Unfortunately, I know that.
Some comedians also fit into that category.
I mean, I wonder, like, I wonder if people feel that same energy in like Boyle Heights or like, in some parts of Silver Lake. Or actually, I think everywhere in Silver Lake, they feel it.
Yeah.
They feel that sort of stratification.
I think they feel the stratification. But it's weird. The stratification hurts everyone. Like, no one's happy with it, and yet they're upholding it constantly.
Except for David Zaslav.
He's chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's having an amazing time.
Yeah.
How much is he getting? Like $900 billion?
It's crazy.
What was the number?
I think it was like 900 million.
It's 900 billion. Yeah, it's not a billion. It's close to a billion. He really tore. Honestly, Papa tore. Like, we all were like, honey, you have 30 minutes. You have 30. He's like, I do. And I'm going to walk out of here with a Billy. And no one guessed that.
He absolutely.
He's like, first of all, you're not going to have a job. Second of all, I'm fucking paying for dinner.
Okay, I'm aware of the time.
I'm aware of the time.
We can stay for 15 more minutes.
Well, this is a complete pivot that is not necessary.
I just want to say, though, whoever made this coffee hates gay people. This is homophobic coffee. Why is there milk in it?
Don't attack.
Did you ask for milk?
No, I didn't.
We heard you.
You literally asked for milk.
I think I said no milk, but
I was never asked for milk.
This is diva behavior.
That's crazy.
To be like, I want milk, and then be like, who the fuck put milk in my coffee?
I did not ask for milk.
I heard it as
heard it.
milk.
Okay, wait. Well, so maybe then what is happening is that I'm still asleep.
Yeah. No, this is all a dream. You're still in jail.
I'm still in jail. Actually, the crazy thing about jail that I really realized is that the only thing I am addicted to in my life is my phone. I dreamed about group chats.
No, I know.
I dreamed about group chats. I would have phantom buzzing for a week and a half. And like the craziest thing was that the first day I was out, the first 3 days I was out, I didn't answer my phone. I was like, I'm free. I was like going to get a flip phone. And like an addict, the minute, I still haven't gotten back on TikTok.
Okay.
But like an addict, the minute I was able to open up Instagram, it was and I was just back. I still haven't posted as much. I'm being like better.
Yeah.
But it's like my digital hygiene is a little bit better, but I'm fucked. I'm still fucked.
I mean, to do a cleanse and then come back must be so scary.
It was really crazy to realize how fucked I am.
That first moment, were you like, oh my God, I have to catch up on so much? Like, did it feel like you had missed something?
I felt free.
Wow.
You are so right that people would pay for this experience.
100%.
And in fact, I'm ready.
Here's what you got to do.
Can you set it up?
Here's what you got to do. Leave your bag around people who do drugs.
Yeah.
And tell them, do what you will.
That'll be very easy for me.
And then once you are on a plane, it doesn't matter where you are. You might be in Japan. You might be someone will stop you.
Great.
At some point and just say, that one, look in that one. That's where all my face stuff is.
Yeah,
That's
arrest me, officer.
That's what I did. Because I literally was like, guys, my bag doesn't have it. Literally just look at my face stuff. That's where all the liquids are. I have nothing.
Yeah.
Well, not nothing.
And then I got in trouble, or maybe I got free.
Wow.
Damn.
I mean, should we?
Wait, I actually want one more thing
Yeah.
in terms of things you're working on. So you worked on this LA Phil thing with Cate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Is that coming to Lincoln Center?
It's coming to the New York Philharmonic with Dudamel this May.
So, okay, Dudamel is sort of like the one person in classical music with name recognition sort of globally right now.
Yeah.
And so in light of the Timmy comments about the opera and the ballet, what do you want to get out of doing more pop classical music stuff?
One of the things, okay, so my New York LA thing is simply that like the cool thing about New York is that like I can go to the Met Opera, the fucking like a shitty like play off Broadway, a weird dance in like Brooklyn, all in like the same week, right? And also eat at like some of the best restaurants in the world. And that's really accessible. And it's not that those things aren't like possible in LA, but you just are driving hours to get there. And the thing I want more people to do who live in New York City or live near any of these things is just like take advantage of it. Right? Like literally, like if you have disposable income, which a lot of people do, like become a member at a theater, right? Like like get a membership to the opera or whatever. You won't like everything. That's actually the fun of it, is that you won't like everything. But you'll always have something to talk about with your friends when you go. You'll start to learn things. You'll meet new people who can teach you a lot. I know nothing about classical music, but now I have like, you know, all these people and like the symphony and like people behind the stage at the New York Phil and the LA Phil who like really taught me a lot and like brought me along. And now I know what to look for in like that concerto. Like I know that when Yuja Wang is in town, you want to be there because that's a diva, right? Like,
yeah. I also think because I also know nothing and I'm trying to learn and like asking dumb questions. And, you know, you think that people are going to look down on you for not knowing, but actually they're so excited that someone, you know, under the age of 45 is interested, or under the age of 65 is interested, not to be Timmy myself, but it's like, then they're excited to teach you.
And also, like, I mean, there's so many crazy things to learn. Like, did you know that when Beethoven was doing this, people were not, like, everyone was an amateur musician.
Yeah.
So, like, we're literally hearing this better than, like, I mean, he couldn't hear, but, like, we were hearing it better than Beethoven could have ever heard it in his time because, like, people did not do musician as a job, right? And also, people were so bad at learning the new ones that, like, they'd be, like, working through his big, long, like, opuses like for 14 hours. Everyone just be like getting drunk and fucking and hanging out for 14 hours at the concert. It was like truly the most raucous, crazy event you could go to.
It was Berghain.
And we could have that same version of that experience in some way, shape, or form with our friends. Like it's a little more like stuffy, etc. But like the more of us that are there, the more of us that ask for different ways of engaging, the more they'll do it because they want to have fun, right? So I think that's my biggest thing. I'm like, it's just like you hear that those stories that Fran Lebowitz tells about like the type of gay guys that used to exist. Like, guys, we can't all just know like every like Wikipedia note about BB Rexa and think that that's the end of like cultural criticism, right? We should know.
That's where we disagree.
No, I love BB Rexa. I love Zara Larsson. Zara Larsson, please, if you hear this, I love you.
Zara, we love you.
Zara, we love you. But like if it stops at Zara Larsson, you won't be able to appreciate like the things that Rosalia is doing in her album or the ways in which like there are questions about what Rosalia is doing in her album. Like I loved talking to like all the like classical music gays, like who are like, here are my issues with like the Rosalia album. And I was like, cool, I don't have those. For me, it's master and piece, okay? But then to have them ask questions about like how it was orchestrated, like what it means to have a lot of violins sound that way, meant that like if I'm ever in conversation with her or her producer, I can ask them these questions and be like, what does that mean? I had this thing come, you know, and who knows what that might make pop music sound like in 5 more years. So I don't know. I think that like we should have more curiosity.
Totally.
And that goes back to the one battle after another thing. I will dip into it.
Please.
As someone who has written like a complex portrayal of a Black woman and faced like fierce criticism for it, like I'm like just happy the smoke's off me, right? I'm like, take it over there. But what I will also say though is that like I hear and hold space for all of my friends who dislike, and I just like I did with some of the people who had criticism for my play. I mean, there were people who had criticism for my play who I thought were just being cruel and like talking about me as a person. I feel like the thing that I wanted them to know then was that like I didn't think that I knew all the answers to like any of the questions I was posing in my play. And I don't think anyone should. Like, I don't think anyone's going to do a perfect representation, and I don't think we should expect them to. I think what becomes really interesting is to think about the ways in which a representation does or doesn't fulfill its purposes for you, while also listening to the people who are embodying those things and just like navigating why they said yes, right? Like, we can't decide that like Tiana Taylor, the Grammy winner, and Regina Hall, like one of the greatest actresses of our time, like they just didn't have any agency inside of these portrayals. They just decided like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like a fucking like cudgel in a white man's imagination because I need to. They didn't need him. You know what I mean? They were fine without this. And I think that like we should have more curiosity about what they saw that maybe we didn't see, and also still say, well, I disagree. Right? Like there are plenty of movies that people love that like I have notes about, right? Like plenty of movies I love that I have notes about. I have notes about One Battle After Another. I have notes about Sinners. I have notes about Sentimental Value. I have notes about fucking Marty Supreme. And you know what the main note is? All of them are 30 minutes too long.
Well,
Say that.
But that's also a note that people had for my play. So it's like,
Sure.
it's great. It's like, it's great that we can meet these things and also recognize that humans made them.
Mm-hmm.
No human is trying to hurt you when they make art, or few humans are trying to hurt you when they make
I was
art.
about to say some are.
And I think that
Often BB Rexa.
Big Rex is trying to cause physical pain.
But I also think that we should have a lot of grace for people like trying and failing, because would we rather, I mean, I really do wonder, would we rather artists never step outside of themselves and like, you know, render identities that aren't theirs for fear of failure and ridicule, right? We're like, on one hand, people are screaming like, how dare, like, you know, he put black women in his movie in the lead and like fuck it up and not do it right. And then also being like, where were the gays in Ryan Coogler's was Sinners?
And let's wake that up. Where were they?
That is a question. That is a note as well. Where were the Vogers, you know?
One of the laziest.
But it's
Oh my
also-
God, where were the Vogers? I hadn't thought of that. Anyway, go on.
but also at the end of the day, like Ryan Coogler, Ryan Coogler had queer people on Black Panther too. Ryan Coogler is someone I know is an ally. That does not need to be something that I'm sitting out here being like, Ryan Coogler obviously hates gays because like in his like rendering of 50,000 cultures on the screen, he forgot about voguing. Because my biggest thing about that scene too, again, love you, Ryan, love that movie, but I know when someone does theater and I know when someone doesn't. And that was not a scene that was made by a theater maker. And I think it would have been different if it had been.
And let's end there.
Well, I want to end on my note.
You can't end on me giving a note to Sinners. That's going to be the part of this clip. And everyone's like, Jeremy hates Sinners. I love Sinners. I love Sinners.
We can balance it. Do you have a note for a movie? I have a note.
Okay,
I have a note.
this is a good way to
Austin
end.
Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. It needs an extra half hour.
No, the
And
notes.
he should have gay sex.
The notes should be for movies this season nominated for Oscars.
Okay, I
not
have a note.
F1, not F1.
I have a note for
F1's disqualified.
I have a note for Hamnet, which is I believe that William Shakespeare's wife should have known what a play is when she went to the theater and started freaking the fuck out when someone said the title of the play during the performance.
I have a note for Train Dreams, which is like there should have been like an extended shower scene.
I agree.
Like the whole time I was like, this guy's dirty as fuck.
And he's hot.
Let's take a shower after you come home from logging. Give me the release. I feel all the tension of the logging.
I would
but
even
no
say
release of the shower.
Yes, and I would even say Jessie Buckley needed a shower in Hamnet, potentially before attending a play. I mean, it's out of respect.
It's out of respect, folks.
Were
I
there
could see
shower
your dirty
scenes
ass
in-
fingernails.
Were there any shower scenes in the film The Secret Agent? Because there should have been.
Well,
no, but there was sex.
but you saw him shirtless, which is what I sort of wanted.
yeah.
And there was of course public sex,
Public
with
cruising.
with the
Public cruising. And there was like a lot of butt shots of Gabrielle Leon.
Yes. No, I think The Secret Agent was. I can't believe I'm saying this. The horniest of the movies that was.
God,
made.
it was-
It was
loved
one of
it.
the least horny Best Picture. Well, One Battle After Another actually is probably the most.
That's
horny.
true. That's true.
Horny in kind of
Weird.
violent ways, but
Yeah.
but horny nonetheless.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it was just those two movies that basically engaged with sex in any way.
Secret Agent was my favorite movie of the year.
It was great.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I didn't vote for it for number one, but
Did
it was
you
my
like-
favorite movie of the year.
It was just an accident.
I loved it. It was just
So
an accident.
good.
That's my favorite screenplay of the year.
Yeah.
Favorite original screenplay. Secret Agent, though, is I think just such a sublime film. We don't do anything like that.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's like so annoying about the Academy, my note for the Academy, why was Miss Mama not nominated for Best Supporting Actress?
Oh,
that,
yeah,
bar
yeah,
none,
yeah.
is the Best Supporting Actress
Yeah.
of the year.
No, she was
Yeah.
really great.
Like, there's no question. Like, love Amy Madigan, politics down. Like, she would have said something to Sam Altman at the party.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Her and
Yes.
Ed Harris, they would have went right up to him. Love Amy Madigan. Note for that movie, timeline doesn't make sense.
For that movie, what's going on with the machine gun on top of the house?
Note for that movie, let's Coco Chanel take one thing off.
Yes.
Who is the little girl talking? The little child talking?
I mean, there's some notes for that movie. I think that's fair to say.
okay.
but guess what? I found out from someone that works on that movie. They were like, "Oh my God, I gave all these notes to Zach. You know what Zach said? No one's gonna care." And guess what? He was right.
He was right.
Oh, I respect it. I love
love
him.
that.
I love
Yeah.
him. I love
it
his
when someone said-
filmmaking ethos.
Also, Comedy Boy.
Here
The
it
brightest
is.
boys
Of
you
course.
know.
More comedies.
We
Splitsville Best Picture. Go ahead.
we need to wrap up. They need the room.
Okay, they need the room.
This
Stream
episode
BB
was-
Rexa.
Stream Splitsville. It needs your
Splitsville
streams.
and Erupcja coming out on April 17th.
Do a double feature
Were you
with
going to say
Blue Hair.
August?
No, I said April.
And,
I heard August.
And this episode has been obviously unconventional. We're going to call it Jeremy O'Harris Breaks the Silence. And that's our pod.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Podcast ends now. StraightioLab is a production by Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network and iHeart Podcasts.
Created and hosted by me, George Civeris, and Sam Taggart.
Executive produced by Jenna Cagle, co-produced by Becca Ramos.
Edited by Lauren Stumpf and mixed and mastered by Doug Boehm.
Artwork by Michael Fales and Matt Grubb. Theme music by Ben Kling.